Hi, my name is Chris Miranda. I'm an acupuncturist and massage therapist, and I'm making this video today because I actually want to introduce a little bit of acupuncture to people. People have a difficulty understanding as far as with how acupuncture is actually done and how it actually affects the body. And I'm here today to actually show you displays of these acupuncture channels and points and what it actually is. From a Eastern perspective, from a Chinese medicine, Japanese 5-element theory, these words you constantly hear in the media a lot about associated with acupuncture. So in doing so, I'm actually going to tell you about what are these channels, meridians, what have you, that way I can give you a definition about them. The channels are these areas that run parallel to your body from your head down to your toes, front and back, and also on the side as well. And on these channels, there are certain points that have functions. They have functions, okay? These points have certain types of functions on these channels, and they're everywhere, okay? And if you're going to see a licensed practitioner, they know where these points are and the functions as well, and they will use them. Now, from an Eastern perspective, Eastern Asian medicine, if you will, that actually what it does is coursing. When we use these needles and we go to these points, what it does is this: we are using these points to actually use chi and blood to alternate your state, okay, to change it. We're going to make a physical change to your homeostasis, okay? You've heard that word before, I know you have. Homeostasis is basically the regularity of where your body is and where it likes to stay at this nice kind of level. And you can have a negative feedback or a positive feedback to actually keep you leveled, okay? Heart rate, kidney function, blood pressure, all these things essentially. So that's what we're going to be doing with the Chinese medicine, is to kind of regulate somehow, some way to find that peak of where you have to be. Now, let's talk about from a Western perspective, my fave personally, what is actually going on? What are we doing, okay, with Chinese medicine or acupuncture? Let's just say acupuncture for now. Acupuncture, what we're using is we're actually using the needles to control inflammation, okay? Doesn't matter where you have inflammation in the body, we're controlling inflammation. And when we introduce the needles into the body, we're actually manually shutting off the inflammatory process. Your body doesn't know when to shut off the inflammatory process. We're triggering it to shut it off with the needles, okay? And we're using these points to actually assist us, okay? And there are other points involved as well, but for all intents and purposes, we're talking about the acupuncture points. Now, once that occurs, when we shut off the inflammatory process, something else occurs in the brain, which is a neurostimuli to the endocrine system, okay? The hormones, okay? It's going to ultimately turn on the endorphins, okay, which is epinephrine, natural painkillers, these natural anti-inflammatories, the things that are basically in aspirin or painkillers. Your body does produce them, but however, your body doesn't really want to disperse it out because there are other systems that it's worried about, and that's not primary. So when we put the needles in and we shut off the inflammatory process, and then we turn on the endorphins and get these hormones and get these neurochemicals stimulated, that shuts off, you start feeling good, and you ultimately have no pain. But it does come back. The inflammatory process does turn on again. Not a problem. You keep repeating this process as far as we're getting treated, and if you have a practitioner, relatively experienced, they're going to know what to do and how to maneuver this and to keep you in that pain-free state, okay? So that's what they're looking to do. That's the intention behind it, and that's what the acupuncture, that's what we're going to be doing. So there it is in a nutshell, and I want to actually show you up close as far as with how these points are mapped out on the body. Here you go. Lovely little display right here and here and up here as well. You can actually see section by section where these needles are. We're not going to need to do all the needles. We don't need to do all the points. We just need to do the points that will give us leverage. And again, it all depends on the experience of the practitioner, what works, and other types of modalities as well. We'll get into that next time. All right? Until then, be well.